I am unhosting, and you're golden. Whoever would like to take up the recap.
Just guess at what you think happened last time, Mason, and you use that
All
for
right.
the recap.
All right. I know where we ended up. That's the only thing I
This will be the
remember.
best recap.
Ethan gave me a recap, and so the only thing I remember from that is where we ended up. So I'm gonna go from there. So, let's see. I'm guessing y'all went to talk to John's kid's mom. And if I remember right, Ethan was like, "This is definitely more than a side quest. We're gonna come back to this," kind of deal.
Maybe.
Big undertaking, yada yada yada. Something 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 in between in between in between. Everyone ends up in the restaurant that Floof went to get more soul food.
That's
I mean,
nearly everything. There is
You forgot
Then
one
that,
important
like,
piece.
yada yada center bit. Renea and Kenna went to the Dragon Guild. I'm never going to remember their name, either in or out of character. Had a chat about Soraya and the guild, which is yes, per we kind of learned. This might be a bit more than we can chew. But nonetheless, and yes, Deshow, John, Floofster, and Paul are having a nice Italian meal and have consumed some souls. Probably. You. Deshow is a question mark.
Oh yeah. Sage, apparently you have a question for me.
do I?
I was told you have a question for me.
Would you have ate the very expensive noms, or would you have ate
Oh
the
yeah, that
normal
was the
noms?
question.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot. Yeah.
Oh
You were
man.
in a fancy Italian restaurant. Would you have eaten the extra expensive noms or the normally priced noms?
So
Everyone else thus far has acquired the extra expensive.
I purchased normal and was handed an extra shot.
It's true.
I feel like it's worth mentioning that this is in a
Yep.
known mob.
But yeah,
It's in a known mob hideout.
That is something you would know. Just making sure you weren't
Yeah.
giving extra information.
Since Mason knows this, but the show doesn't, would the show be able to passively pick up on the fact that something that drives up the price of food that much is maybe not legal?
Floofster did have a moment. Her eyes kind of went white and she kind of got a hit.
That would have been after everyone ordered.
It's true.
True. That is true.
That is after everyone ordered.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you can give me a insight check.
The good old vibe check.
Mm-hmm. Are you chilling with this, or you having
11.
issues? All right. I mean, there's something that must be that's causing the price to be so high. You don't know if it's illegal or if it's just like imported ingredients or something like that.
Running underground rings are really expensive.
Yeah, but
underground onion rings.
That's true. I mean, how else are you gonna get them?
I suppose the show's a bit of a what's the word, hedonist. He'll go for the super nice food.
Oh, well, what food are you looking for? Super
Well,
nice.
let's see.
I think the super nice is 350.
What's the expensive
360.
menu?
Let's see here. Let me go bring up my menu again.
Technical depends on where the souls are from, Jordan.
I forgot that we've got the fine dining music.
It depends on your definition of imported. You could reasonably define it as having the souls ripped out of their bodies. That's typically.
I think imported in a term of goods is by definition from a different region or country.
So, if we stole souls, so those noodles were imported. These noodles are not.
All right. So
yes, precisely.
Would you like the fettuccine gamberi? That is priced at $393 or gold
$3.90.
and 95 copper. So 9 silver, 5 copper.
Hmm. What else is on the menu?
Let's see here. Other expensive stuff. Apologies for butchering of these names. I don't do Italian. Linguini frutti
It's
di
okay,
mare.
I'm not Italian.
You got traditional spaghetti and meatballs, if you're interested in that stuff. Let's see, those are sides. You're wanting main dishes. They have some pizzas.
Perhaps.
Spicy arrabbiata pizza, maybe. Con formaggio. Penne
Hmm.
arrabbiata. Penne cardinale. Tortelloni, maybe.
Let's go for the tortelloni.
Tortelloni. All right. That is running for 370 gold, 9 silver, and 5 copper.
That is quite the premium
It's
that I
true.
will pay.
I love how everyone else is like, "Oh, this weird, sketchy restaurant. Let's order the most expensive food on the menu." Meanwhile, Renee would be like, "I ain't
Hey,
ordering
hey, hey,
anything.
hey.
This
Well, we
place is
did.
weird."
It's not
Hey
sketchy.
now,
It's
Hey,
fine dining.
this place this is maybe the nicest place John has been in, par for like Paul's house.
Yeah.
That makes it even worse.
Also, he just got a sandwich.
All right, very good. Well, it is the best food you've ever tasted. However, before we do anything beyond this, we have to do a little bit of backtracking because you would have been given this letter way before.
Yes.
We go send you this
I
letter in
have.
PMs.
No.
They get to decide if they want to share this information.
That's fair.
I made this meme last week, and I've been waiting till now to bust it out.
I know you're such a big fucking nerd. Where's my goddamn letter from the thought? Why is Moon Knight the best character?
All right, let's see here. Lost Fable handouts, specials, Thuck's letter to Paul. Here we go. Dragging that.
Because Moon Knight is basically Deadpool on crack, so
Perhaps.
Ketamine.
True.
That's just lore friendly.
All right. There's your letter.
Where's my goddamn?
Letter from Doc.
I need to know.
Every D&D group has one person that just busts out the memes.
I feel like I don't. I want to learn why Dracula owes Moon Knight money.
Why wouldn't he, quite frankly? Do you know what Moon Knight does?
Not really, no. I do know that one time, somebody told him that Dracula was a part of, the, I forget if he's DC or Marvel. Doesn't matter, but
Damn, Thok is a poet.
You told me he was a bard.
I did.
oh
I mean,
my.
you put a lot of effort into this. I appreciate that. Okay, that has been read.
Excellent. All right. So it's up to you if you want to do anything with that. But back in the land of, well, the restaurant, you all have achieved your food placed upon your table by the waiters and waitresses. They have provided you the appropriate silverware, utensils, all that good stuff that you might require, and you have encountered Floof doing the weird eye thing and freezing up. and then kind of like going, ooh, that's where we left
And-
off. So
And I know exactly what happened.
hmm Well,
Also,
Oh wow. Is it that good?
oh, also one more thing for Mason, so that Deshaun knows, no casting spells.
Yeah, we got in trouble for
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
The second that
Did
the whole
John try to
thing.
prestidigitate himself cleaner?
No.
there was some detect thoughts happening.
Yes,
Uh,
but my hand
yeah.
is allowed.
So the second that I realize what's happening with Floof and what I might think is the cause of it, I'm going to put my cutlery down and I'm going to quietly whisper to John and to show stop eating immediately.
Deshaun has a mouthful of pasta right then.
I'm gonna just. He's just gonna take his shot. What for?
The ingredients are not very wholesome.
Well, of course. Sage,
Yeah.
is there an equivalent name for Italians in this world?
Let's see
What would this
here.
what would this variety of cuisine be called?
Let me zoom out in my
No
world map.
mish.
Let's see. I believe it's over here on this continent. No, you're not that. Where are you? That's your capital. Where's your
I'm
country
making him
name?
work.
The fact. Why am I still surprised at the amount of shit that you have ready?
Me, I just say it's from the city of Italia in the country that
No, the
owns
capital's
Cyber.
Alentis. I'm just trying to figure out the name of the country.
I'm sorry, I don't speak italics.
Let's see here. Let me go.
Sage, why did they just get an ad on your Twitch channel for Charmin Ultrasoft?
I don't know. I don't even know I had ads. That's weird.
Well,
All
here you
right.
go.
Yeah. I'm going through the notes rather than looking at the map right now. So 1 second.
You, you've got to realize here, Paul, I don't overly know what you mean by that.
I just paid 300 gold for this.
I
You
know,
have
so
to
that
make a very good case for me to not eat it.
I'm not going to speak it aloud here for I fear it may get us in trouble, but I promise you there is a valid explanation, and I will explain it as soon as we are out of earshot.
Fair enough. It's a damn good sandwich, though. Fine.
Oh, it was delicious, but we should. Never mind. Who are we here to speak with?
Somebody. We. The, the main goal is to find somebody to talk to about maybe seeing about if they've got any information or help about taking
Ah,
care
found it.
of the other bastards.
Cartarja.
Right, going back to my earlier joke. Of course it's not wholesome, it's Cartesian. This
What
thing will
is-
make a breakout in Hive for weeks, but it's gonna taste damn good.
I have no idea what you, Cartot. Sure.
It's a place, John, don't worry about it.
Fine. I have no idea how to go about this. Do we just
I
Like-
think I.
wave over somebody and ask, "Hey, I'd like to speak to somebody in charge"? Like, I feel like that's how we get ourselves killed.
Well, we got in here using a name that Floof provided. Floof, who are we supposed to speak to again?
Still in my trance or
You are no longer in your trance, but you do have all the things that we discussed.
all right, cool. I'm just gonna kind of still slightly dazed look over and be like, John Doe.
John Doe.
John Doe. Well, it'd be good to be another John
list.
Well,
Find his damn name, because I forgot to do that. 1 second. At me.
So
Find.
Do you just have a secret notes channel?
Yeah.
He has-
That's pretty
oh
great.
yeah.
Yeah.
We found out he has quite a few actually.
That's a good idea. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, keep it hidden to
Yeah.
players so I
We-
can
we
easily
don't
access
even get
common
to
questions
know.
and such.
What about our common questions, Sage? How come we can't use it?
I mean, do I know about All Hallows Eve? Because I can easily copy pasta that for you guys. Maybe you want to learn about the canopic chalice. Psychopomps,
I
maybe? Maybe you want
is
to
Chalice?
yeah, chalice.
is all Hallows Eve a thing also in Aether Storm?
Less so. They're less with the northern traditions.
Then I wouldn't know that much about
Yeah, you might have like a few. You've probably heard about it just because Aetherstorm is like the central hub of trade and travel,
it.
but it's not like natives there follow along unless they're immigrants from countries like Calabash.
Fair enough.
Anyways, I'm gonna mark these as not read so I can go back to them and do them.
Okay, so perhaps we just do actually just call a waiter or something.
I have an idea. I'm going to try to get the attention of a waiter or a server or something to try to get them to come over to the table.
Raising your arm, this would be seen fairly quickly as your table. A little weird, being that there is a cat, a noble, a gunslinger from out of town, and well, to
To show.
with their vast mane of hair.
Walk into a
It-
bar.
I will say, Desho would have taken off the bear armor to just be around town in.
Okay, you're less distinctive in that case, but still,
He's
it is
in
certainly an interesting group.
stylish, kind of up.
Yeah. Because like everyone else
He
here is
looks
wearing
good.
fine clothing. The only one who's wearing fine clothing in this party is Paul, and that's only because their robes are probably fine quality.
Desho has a set of nice clothing.
Are you
A
wearing
cat?
it?
The noble.
To be around the city, absolutely
Alright.
he would have.
Then there you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, then
Still a cat with you, and a
There is still a
gunslinger.
cat with us.
a gunslinger, then an archaeologist. Walk into a
into a
The
bar.
cat is not
into a soul
wearing her
restaurant.
fancy clothes.
It's more of a
Walk into a
fluff.
soul restaurant.
Anyways, the waitress would approach. Yes.
Hi, could I get this spaghetti to go?
Of course. One box or any other boxes required?
I'd take one.
Me as well, please.
Very good. 3 boxes. Coming
And
right
while
up.
you're at it, could you arrange a meeting between us and John Doe?
I will see if he's available for you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
All right. They would leave the table, stepping past and back into the kitchen area, where you will see them move back and deeper into the kitchen, but not before speaking to someone else in the kitchen. A waiter at this point would pass by, moving through the kitchen, picking up a few boxes and dropping them off at your table.
I'm going to pack up my food.
Excellent.
John. People as well.
And I'm going to tip the server a gold piece.
Very good.
Yeah, I'll throw
Appreciate
in
it.
I'll throw in an extra gold piece. That was a damn good shot.
Desho will leave one on the table.
Oh.
A gold piece.
Excellent. They would nod
Is
their
Calabash
appreciation.
a tipping for a living wage place, Sage?
No.
No,
Okay.
this thing's tablecloth costs more than like a month for living for John, right? It's
Yeah. It's an expensive place. But yeah, they
Yeah.
don't tip commonly here. No,
Hmm.
it's not like seen as insulting or anything like that. But it's not common. It's not like required either.
Well, let's hope Mr. Doe is available for us. If not,
And not of the murdering type.
oh, we've done nothing wrong. We're here to exactly chastise him or anything. And hopefully, this can be as cordial as possible. But
Yes, but
so we will be asking some certain questions. So
things
need
might
be,
get hairy is my only point.
Paul.
Yeah.
What methods exactly do you have to quickly leave this place? Preferably with carrying somebody.
Well, I know Dimension Door, and I can get myself and one other person out of here pretty quickly, but
Perfect.
I think you have the same spell, yes?
I do. That's exactly what I was thinking. I don't know your repertoire, so to speak.
I can also be out of here fairly quickly. I can only take myself, though.
Okay. Well,
Well, I could take you, and John could take Floof.
that works. Okay.
Yeah,
Just,
sure.
just in case things go a little awry.
Always good to have a plan.
It's weird having one.
All right.
So,
As you guys are discussing this, a moment passes as a man approaches the table. Also look like they are part of the staff, but they are not the woman that you initially spoke to, nor the waiter that provided you the boxes. This man, dressed in the standard attire, fine silken slacks, white undershirt, vest, black bow tie. Um, you wish to speak with the boss?
That is correct.
I'm afraid that he is busy at the moment, but if you would come back later tonight, he'll be able to see you.
Oh,
Specifically, he will pull out a card and he will hand you the card at this address.
I'm gonna make an insight check on him. Is this just a power play, or is he actually busy?
All right, go ahead. Oh wait, I was trying to go to chat. And I was like, wait, you're not in that chat. You're in dice roller chat.
14.
not bad.
14. Um, you don't know whether he is busy or not. This could be just a power play, as you might think. It could just be that he is indeed busy. The man before you, though, is not giving a lot of information. There's no like visual cues that he is like, trying to show you up or something like that.
I will put the card in my pocket and say, "Thank you. I'll be sure to meet with your employer tonight."
Very well. He'll give a slight bow before making his way to go back to the kitchen and pick up some drinks and then deliver those.
Do you think we should go? I don't think
Well-
there's anything for us right here at the moment.
we've made every indication that we're about to. It'd be weird if we stayed, quite frankly.
Indeed.
So I just want to make sure you guys like went there, ate some food, had a shot. You had like what, 2 bites of your food, and now you're packing up and leaving already.
I
Well, we
probably
got the
got
food
through
in
about half my sandwich.
to-go bags.
That's sus.
Someone's
Kinda
playing
sus, bro.
Among Us.
Okay. Oh, we ain't on a spaceship in the middle of nowhere with threat of being thrown Not with an airlock yet. That could still happen.
What is a planet but just a giant organic spaceship floating through space?
How? Okay, tell me how you throw John out of the airlock.
We execute you.
Hard work and
The
dedication.
reverse gravity spell.
That would do it. Okay. Congratulations. Also, the execution is not an airlock.
You're still
Depends
getting
on how you
yeeted out
execute
the
someone.
planet.
No, I'm not.
Your soul is.
My body ain't.
Also, I suppose being launched out of orbit would be the equivalent of that.
Yeah,
I mean, you can drop them in
so,
lava. That's another yeeting thing that they did. Anyways,
It's not out of.
do you guys
That'd be
pack
more
up?
like putting someone in the engine.
Yeah, I'm gonna get up with my box of soul food and head for the exit.
Excellent.
I'm gonna put my box of just regular food in the old bag of holding, and
All right.
The show just carries his. Kind of in that awkward. This box is just a little bit too big for my hand.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about?
Very good. All right. You guys make your way to the exit, past the strange corridor with the bouncer at the door, and through to the outside. Once more, breathing fresh air, back in the well, fresh is a strong word to say since you were in the slums, but back in the city proper.
Okay, I need to explain to you why we had to get out of there and stop eating the food.
let's
So-
maybe hold on. We're right at their doorstep.
Let's
Or
walk.
once we're out of earshot.
Let's walk a bit down the street. Holy mother of things. Okay.
Minerva's going to keep an eye out as she follows them along invisibly, looking for anyone tailing them.
Okay. So, I have good reason to believe that the food that we're eating is comprised of souls.
Well,
Floof shrugs and says, "Not all of it."
yeah, you'd know.
And I also believe that something bad happened to Floof's soul because of eating them. Why it didn't happen to us, I do not know. But something is amiss.
That's why that shot tasted so. Okay. Interesting.
So I'm going to take the soul food and head over to Arcanostra, see if I can learn anything about it. Maybe find a way to reverse what happened to Floof.
Arcanostra doesn't have any persecuting power, does it?
Does it?
No. They have some extreme sway on the council, but they don't have any overt power.
And in addition, after we're done with this whole business getting rid of the Devil's Den, this would be a mountain of evidence to bring down the Pine Halt Soul.
Yeah.
Well, John doesn't know that his isn't also soul food, so he'll hand you his sandwich.
Thank you. I'm going to get these over to Arcanostra, see if I can do any preliminary research, and then let's see if we can gather everyone and meet at the address.
Wonderful. Suppose until the time being, I've got to go house shop. So, thank you very much for all helping with this.
By all means.
Anytime.
All right. So, Paul, you're going to Arcanostra. You're going house shopping. What is the show gonna do?
The show's gonna go to the museums because I haven't gotten to do that yet.
Aha! And Floofster.
Flooster
I'm
doubles back to the
probably
restaurant.
just going to follow whoever won't make me leave. So I'm gonna just stick around, John. Help him house hunt.
Incorrect choice.
I will help.
I don't think I require any assistance in this, but thank you.
All right. Well, then I might go to the library to look for Ada.
All right.
Minerva will follow Floofster since she is suspicious.
All right. Very good. So, The parties
Mineral
diverge,
sauce.
moving in places. Let's see here. Moving you guys down to the southern part of town, to Arcanostra. Moving you down to the Dragon's Hearth. And moving you westward to the, let's see, which one of these is the, I need to go into DM view. Let's see, are you it? Nope. You it? No. It's gotta be one of these main buildings. No. Oh, there you are. Alright, let's see here. Making visible to players. Boop. Alright, moving down to the western side, and then moving south from the church, crossing through several thoroughfares past the ring within the center of town, you would find this building here. The Lost Dream Museum.
Oh.
Alright, and let's see here. Before we do that, we're just going to go and look around about some other people, because we were doing you guys for a bit there. So, Ada, what are you doing? You're not there. Where are you?
Ada is studying and writing.
Excellent. All right, that's an easy clap right there. Renea and Kenna, what are you doing?
Well, having determined that they were not actually being followed and Renee was just paranoid,
For the second time in 2 days.
unless Kenna asks Renea for help with anything, Renea is going to go back to working on her spell.
All right. So you're also going to Arcanestra. Which means you're also over there too, Ada. Whoop. And what? Oh, you're really quiet. I can't hear you. What are you saying, Kenna?
Wrong headphone. Kenna's not really got anything to do tonight, but she'll head back to the Draconis Legion tomorrow. But other than that, just rest up.
All right, just resting then. All right, in that case, I believe house hunting will be fairly simplistic, so we'll do that one next. So, John, returning to the Dragon's Hearth Tavern. This is the normal meeting place that you have made with Willow. Let's see here. You didn't actually make a plan to meet with her, so after doing the restaurant. So, what is your plan?
Well, I think actually the plan was to. I thought she kind of stayed up at the manor.
Oh yeah, she did stay up at the manor.
So I was gonna return back there.
Shucky ducky over there. All right, making your way to the manor, you would find. Oh, that makes sense. She's right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I'm just a blind banana. She's right there. Anyways, you would see that Kenna is also at the manor. Entering into the building, you would be greeted by the butler, of course, and Willow be there, sitting upon one of the couches within the lounge, kind of like twiddling her arms. However, as the door opens, she would turn swiftly. How'd it go?
It went fairly. We got these buttons. It went fairly well. We're gonna have to meet up with their boss a little later this evening, but hopefully everything still goes smoothly. Yeah, don't eat any of the food from them or take anything from them. Paul thinks it might have something to do with souls, so
That's horrible.
that it is. But nothing we can do about that right now, but we might be able to kill two birds with one stone here, since that should be ample evidence if we ever need to take care of them.
Well, I hope
But-
you're right. These gangs are, well, they're nothing to scoff at. They're quite dangerous.
I'm slowly learning that. It's a little wrong to underestimate how large of a job this might turn out to be.
I did warn you.
You did. But that's still throw you some house hunting. Shall we?
Ah, yes. Yes, indeed. All right. She would arise from the couch and would join you outside. All right. So, for you, which part of town would you like to go house hunting in? She would suggest anywhere that's not the slums.
Literally anywhere but this chunk.
And
Fit-
the industrial district, anywhere there, because that's not really housing.
Yes, well, of course. Well, I'd probably go looking around. Ah, yes, again. Probably around this sort of chunk first, then maybe
All right.
this time a bit down here by the Arcanoster, although it's kind of college student area, so who knows?
All right. 1 second. Let me bring something up. All right. So you're looking for that type of setup and all that good stuff. One moment. I have to scroll down and find the page for these. All right, I have it. Cool. Right, moving northern in a northerly direction through the Noble District's gates, past the guards, who would, of course, allow you guys passage, as you are a known figure, a known compatriot of Pelodrin and Ada. Passing through the city, you would see that there are a few houses here that do have signs stating that they are for sale, um, all indicating different like agents to go speak to different buildings within the town. Most of them actually pointing you towards the bank on the southern side of the town. Um, However, you do have a few choices.
Mm-hmm.
Effectively, I'm going to make it fairly simplified for you, so I don't have to go into too much detail, but you are looking at, um, let's see here, a basic cottage, a fancy cottage, a basic house, a fancy house, or a luxury house. These are your choices. Um, Obviously, I'm
So,
omitting any homes that are poor, because that's
yeah,
slums.
yeah. So there's tier 1 or 2 cottage, or there's tier 1, 2, or 3 house.
Yes.
Just so I don't make a fool of myself, what's the kind of price range there?
So for the homes, the basic setups for them, or sorry, the cottages, the basic setups for them, you have 700 gold for a basic uh, house, that or a basic cottage. That's not really gonna. It's definitely an upgrade.
Yeah.
However, it is uh, a traditional uh, common folks home. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
One bedroom, basic living area with kitchen inside, that kind of thing. Hence why it's a cottage.
Yes.
Um, Fancy, that one has more rooms to it. It's a bit more modest in terms of what it can do. Um, that one is a 3,000 gold fancy cottage. So you got more room there. It's a bit more of a proper home, a bit on the smaller side. You then have a basic house. This runs for 1,200 gold. Basic houses, they have the traditional setup of different room sections and all that good stuff. Kind of like a fancy cottage, but they have their own yard for the most part, although it is small for basic. Fancy, same thing, same setup. They have their own yard, they're all that good stuff. They have 2 stories for the most part. Some might have 1 story but a basement. These run 5,000 gold.
Gotcha.
Then you have the luxury houses, and I'm omitting any of the manors like that because those are, I'm assuming, far out of your price range.
I have 807 platinum.
Yeah, those are far out of your price range because
Yeah.
the luxury house is 25,000 gold.
Whew. Whew. 25,000, yeah, so that's 250 platinum. Okay, that's not. How is that? Okay.
No, it's,
So wait.
add an extra 0 to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1 platinum is 10 gold. So
Yes, I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting that.
yeah, you're
So
thinking
wait, so
about mithril, which is 100 gold per.
Oh, okay. Noted. So the luxury cottage was 300. Sorry, 3,000 gold.
The luxury cottage,
Yeah.
or the fancy, it's luxury is the next step, but they don't have any in that city.
Oh, sorry.
A fancy cottage is 3,000. Yes.
Okay. And yet a basic house, which is, I suppose, still different than the cottage, still is only.
It's more of the amenities within that are changed because you might have,
Gotcha.
you might have like the same amount of room in a basic house, but the amenities are not as high quality.
Well, John would basically just ask. Willow of, well, what are you wanting? I don't overly know the amount of space you want or need. Don't know if you want a yard or not.
I think a house would do fine. Some privacy to better, well, safeguard from these gangs, just in case. Um, I don't think they'll travel too far out of their territory, but
Of course.
yeah. So yeah, her suggestion is a house.
House. And then so it's my choice to go tier 1 or tier 2 because
Yes.
I have not remembered your little fancy weddings.
Hmm.
Tier 1 was 1,200 gold. Tier 2 was how much?
5,000.
5,000. Okay. Wished factories. Sorry. And 5,000 would be 500 platinum.
It's true.
I'm just mentally going because, oh boy, math. Hell. We're that much. We'll go with the tier 2.
Excellent. A fancy house.
That's
Hmm. All right. Very good. So, in that case, looking down in the southern district, there are a few there. There's also a few in the Temple district. Which district would you like to focus in? Notably,
Jokes up.
the southern district is the territory of the Devil's Den. The northern district is the territory of the Soulstone Reavers, which is the guild you were just in.
Mm-hmm. Well, now here's the hard choice. And of course, I'm going to ask you first.
District outside of both.
The Temple district is in neither territory, but it is technically in the Reavers territory, especially if they were to gain a greater foothold in the city.
I see you.
Because right
I
now
see
it's
you.
kind of focused here-ish, like this area for the. Here we go. Spacebar. Let me zoom out. This area for the Devil's Den, and then this area for Stone Reavers.
Okay, that's interesting. Oh, actually, oh, yeah, no, that checks out then. Well, to my understanding, there's the choice of being in more the range of the church, or still within the range of that gang we're primarily dealing with. My gut says to go to the southern, because hopefully, if we take care of them in some way or capacity, that'll take care of that. My thoughts with going with the northern one is while it'd be safer in this very instance, if we take out that gang, the the soul dealing gang will probably take a foothold. I need to close my window. I apologize.
Choices, choices indeed.
I apologize for the noise out there. Okay.
It's all good.
Let's look somewhere in the Temple District.
All right. Looking at the Temple District, there is a fine home within there that you can are directed to go to the bank to see about purchasing. Um, it is actually fairly close to the gates of the city, so you don't have to worry about that. In fact, go and make the marker for that house, since it would not have one. All right. I'm just going to make this one visible and we can move it around in case you want to choose a different home because you have two choices.
Gotcha.
All right, change to token. So you have this building here.
Okay.
You also have this building. One's a little off the main thoroughfare, but is a bit more private. The other one is on a, not, I wouldn't call it the main thoroughfare, but it is off, like just off one of the more prominent streets. So it's both have their own backyards, so they do have that access. But yeah.
Well, joke's on you. Once again, that is still more of a question for Willow. Which one calls to you more?
All right. She would take the one off the main road, simply because it is closer to the place of business, as well as with the close proximity to the temple, she feels safe.
Mm-hmm.
So, the current location is where it's set. All right. So, would you like to head to the bank to finalize?
Yes.
All right, making your way to the Bank of Abadar. Cross the southern district, up the uh, long road through the cliff sides and the southernmost, southwesternmost part of the city into the Guilds district. You would find the Gilded Vault, the temple and bank of Abadar. Here, at a counter, you would find the indicated name. Charlie is the one behind the counter, according to the name plaque. Doesn't have a last name. Um, but you would see a rather rotund fellow, uh, dark hair, bit of droopy eyes, and he would speak up. Good day, sir.
John would
I love him.
since I've been meaning to make this joke forever now, he'll go to like tip his hat, but then go, ah, son of a... Howdy. We're here to see about purchasing that home in the just north of the temple.
Oh, the woven tapestries district then. Yes. Very good. Let me drop the paperwork. Now, would this be on coin or credit?
Uh, Coin.
Very good. Very good indeed. We will not need these stacks then. You'll put away 3 stacks of paper.
People like their paper. Actually, I don't know about if Ate the Storm has equally as much paperwork.
It's got a
If
decent amount
not
of
more.
paperwork.
There are guns.
That's more of like waivers, less credit paperwork.
You're right.
All right. So you're going to be spending some time within the Gilded Vault going over paperwork. Effectively, you're going to be doing that. Luckily, not through the remainder of this day and the next day, because you cut out some 2 stacks specifically of paper work that needs to be filled. But you are going to be doing that for the remainder of your adventuring time this day, in terms of like daylight hours, because you guys did have plans for the night.
Okay.
So you'll be doing that for this part. From there, we go to the Lost Dream Museum. Now, I've been trying to find the map for this, but I can't freaking find it, so the land of imagination we shall be.
Wonderful.
So, entering into this marbled floored, grand pillared building, it's kind of like an L shape per the building's actual shape on the map. You can see that there are several people moving about, going through different side rooms within this building, a few going up to the desk and kind of like conversing with secretaries there. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be like anyone stopping to like show tickets or anything like that. It seems like they're just allowed free reign, um, within reason, of course. There are security guards watching and keep an eye on things, and when people get a little too close, a little too handsy with displays, they are warned by the guards. But yeah, you can see that the main section itself seems to be dedicated more towards the history of Calabash itself. Although there are a few side
First,
sections off to the side and off into the back area that seem to be dedicated to the different pieces, different parts of history. So,
this show
yeah.
absolutely does take a pass through the museum, first and foremost.
Excellent.
Probably spends a solid however long, at least an hour doing that. You know, kind of doing just the whole shebang, just going through. And then, if at any time on my perusal I find someone who looks more official, maybe more like studious is a good word for it. He will, if it doesn't look like they're in any particular rush, he'll pull them aside.
All right, you would see a human man, looks to be late middle-aged, maybe old. They appear to be dressed in a rather, might be more familiar to those in Aetherstorm than it is here, but it is a tweed jacket, little bow tie, all that good stuff. But they do seem to be watching over some of the, um, what's the word for it? Exhibits here.
All right. To say, I'm sorry, you're terribly busy.
Not terribly, no. What can I help you with?
Well, I'm an archaeologist from down south in Aetherstorm, and I'm up in town for unrelated business. I thought I'd stop in and try to network a little, as it were. So, what's your name? I'm Deshow, Hugo de Deshow.
He's going to pause. He was about to answer, and then he pauses. It is a fine name, that. I am Alistair Bradley, at your service. Also, from Aetherstorm, in fact.
Oh,
Strange to
really? I
see so
noticed by the
many
coat.
fellows here. Well, it is
Uh,
interesting to speak with a fellow countryman. It's been some time. Last, I believe, was about a month ago. Anyways, yes, it's good to see that there are more of our fellow archaeologists out and about beyond just the traditional ring, the influence of Aetherstorm and the Confederacy.
yeah. Might I ask, what's the specialty of this museum?
Well, the museum here focuses more on the uh, Calbeshian line, but there is the history of Calbesh and its predecessor, specifically the Gith Empire. Um, more notably, the Empire. Let me go grab this. Nope. The Empire of House Zera, those who ruled over the Sholti in ages past.
You don't say.
Indeed.
Well, I happen to be a quite the expert in the ancient Gith, if I do say so myself.
Well, perhaps we can share notes then. I'm always happy to gain some knowledge on the Gith. My tenure here at the museum has provided some insights, but there is um, certainly a lacking of knowledge from certain functions, certain areas of the world.
Yes, always. Well, I was recently in a quite fortunate position through some extra dimensional tomfoolery. The ruin of Valendron's Hold was uh, briefly restored. For a time, I happened to be there by pure chance, and I managed to get some very detailed sketches of it in its full glory. And I'd hate for them to be lost anywhere. Uh, if I were to uh, transcribe them here, where would I be able to do that?
I did not think that was possible. Of course. You can come to my office. I have the proper materials there that you can use to transcribe and uh, preserve.
Wonderful, wonderful.
All right, it'll take you into the back area, into the employee section of the museum, where you can see there's a bunch of crates sealed off, a few with a crowbar nearby, ready to open them. Several different display cases, a few of which holding gems or other jewelry and the like. Those with different art objects of like less immediate monetary value,
Sure,
but
sure.
you would see that this place has received what appears to be a recent shipment. You can roll me a history check, although if you um, I know you have lore in archaeology due to being an archaeological profession, but if you have any tools or the like that would be relevant as well, you can roll that.
I don't think I necessarily have any tools, so I'm just gonna go for the history roll.
All
Or
right.
history, you said?
Yeah, history.
23.
23. All right. Looking at just like the brief glance that you are given as you are moving past and through the back area up a set of stairs, you notice that some of the wording on these detail fell pass. Um, reading, uh, not reading back, thinking back on your history lessons and your time spent abroad, just studying some of the GIF ruins and the like. You believe that Fell Pass itself, by itself, isn't really too notable. It is an orcish uh, homeland within let me go to world map and grab this name because I can't remember off the top of my head. Within the wildlands south of Kalbesh, kind of near Droshkov Hold. However, the important thing there is that it is also a notable Gith area. Um, Ruins abound within this pass, with this canyon within the mountains, specifically on the western side, the Dragon Smoke Mountains, or the Weimer Smoke. Um,
Sure.
the mountains here, the Gith ruins within the canyon here, you believe that they, well, for one, uh, have been buried by magma flows. So the fact that there are recovered artifacts from this place is amazing. Just an archaeological marvel, since to get through all that would be quite the feat without destroying anything,
Mm-hmm.
or at least without finding anything that's just like charcoal bodies and the like with Mount Vesuvius in our world.
Sure.
So
Uh, if you don't mind me asking, how did you recover these artifacts? If I recall correctly, the site is buried in magma.
it learned. Yes, indeed. We actually sent a team down that way. Um, a group of our finest archaeologists, a few of the security detail, the Cornus Legion specifically, to go find a lost hold. We had some news that there was a pass through the mountains, through the Underdark, that led uh, beneath the magma flow and into the heart of the city. Um, from the sendings that we received, that uh, they're still down there, but some of the expeditions have returned. But the sendings we initially received spoke on the survival of the city, a great bubble-like barrier surrounding the top of it. Um, Assumedly, this was one of the magical defenses of the Gith Empire that protected the city. In this case, protected it from the magma's flow. So
Oh, yeah.
it's quite a wonder.
I'll have to, is that still a protected site?
It is indeed, yes. The Calbeshian military has, well, I don't know if it's specifically the site itself, but they have cordoned off the pass to the south. We
Ah,
haven't been able to send any down that way. We've sent a few through Elder's Crest up along the pass there, as there are a few caves that lead into the Underdark within the mountains, but that's the furthest we can go, and the passes in the mountains there, um, they're not fully explored yet. Um, so we've had a few issues in that regard, getting our archaeologists back. We've only received the first shipment, but we're still trying. We're still speaking with the government, trying to get a pass to go down that way.
that's, uh, that's quite impressive.
Indeed. Anyways, here we are, the office. Please have a seat. And
Sure.
I'll enter
Thank you.
into the area and I'll offer you a seat at his desk where he'll begin pulling out some instruments and the like that you can use.
Uh, Desho will open his notebook, of course, set it on the table next to him. Um, is some larger scale paper provided than the like pocket kind of notebook
Yeah,
that
yeah.
Desho uses? Yes.
He would hand you
He
some
will
decent sketch paper.
spend as long as he needs, and with ridiculous detail, attention to detail. Will do his best to uh, transcribe and effectively like upscale or blow up his sketches to fill the pages.
All right. Roll me your painter's check, or what was the other check? Um, Go bring up my document. There are some choices you had here. Tools. Should be here. All right. Here we go. Tools, toolkits. Alchemist, nope. Calligraphers, that could work. So calligraphers, painter supplies. Yeah, one of those.
Uh,
Both intelligence based.
both intelligence based. Okay, I'll spring for calligraphers. There's not a real difference, but that sounds
All right.
more to show.
All
I'm
right.
gonna use my inspiration on it.
Very good.
Really?
Well, if we have another thing that happens this session that requires me to use inspiration, I'll eat my words, okay?
Okay, you got me there.
Yes, the first one, 16.
Indeed. All right. With a
Are you
16,
sure you
you
don't
managed to sketch up the core details, kind of blowing them up. Some has been lost just because, I mean, the sketch was so small originally, so it was kind of hard to get the finer details going. But the core concept is there,
Mm-hmm.
blown up to a proper degree. Yeah, you spend time drawing these out within the notebook or the sketching paper, and yeah, very good. And
All right.
of course, during this time, he would be asking you questions about what happened. How did you uh, find such a living relic, and all these other like questions. Standard archaeological. He's just gonna delve deep into your mind, basically, trying to pick your
I
brain with all
I
these.
I leave out the part about how I accidentally got into the abyss, but I do reveal the fact that I was in the abyss. We'll just say that's from a separate archaeological activity.
Okay, he's gonna pest you the crap out about that. He's gonna
Oh
pest
yeah,
you
no.
about did did the Gith ever go to the abyss? I didn't have any writings on that. Quite marvelous. Do tell me more. What was this
Well,
other expedition?
I was actually in search of a relic of personal interest
Oh, I
in
see.
completely unrelated, not even a Gith ruin, and uh, I ended up in the abyss, as one does, I suppose. Uh, and I ran into a group of other people, one of which I already knew, which, you know, of all places to meet someone who stayed at your inn once, the abyss is not an ideal one.
Indeed.
But
Quite a story that I suppose.
met an old friend down there, and he was with a group that had hired him. So I started traveling with them. They had been in Valendron's hold already on a separate expedition.
Nice.
So we fought a strange plant demon, um, which, uh, when we defeated it, brought us back to Valendron's hold. Uh, that's it's kind of a blur. I was unconscious for a good amount of that. Demons hurt. Uh, but I don't know necessarily if the demons or if the Gith, pardon me, if the Gith go to the abyss. But they did have, and I point to the sketches of the statue that would rotate. That uh, they had this device that had some influence, control, something over dimensional travel, and it was powered by this. And then I show him the engine uh, that we found.
Mm, mm.
I do leave out anything about the astral vessels
Excellent.
because the show wants all of the glory for that later.
Quite interesting. Technological
uh,
marvel indeed. I think this even surpasses Aetherstorm.
I'd agree with you.
Oh, and I forgot to put his hand out down, so I'm gonna go drop that. JC should recognize this.
The chat's lagging a little bit behind. If we can throw in like dice roller general too?
Yeah. Boop.
Of
But out of scholarly curiosity, what was
course.
this um, secondary expedition of yours for?
Well, I have great personal interest in a relic. I'm not sure of the proper name of it. I refer to it in my own head as Heaven's Mirror. It's a mirror that supposedly allows communication with the gods. Um, I've heard tell of it in
As have
several
I.
places, uh, and I kind of lean in closer for this. Don't tell anyone, but that's in my blood. If you understand my meaning. Um, so it's of course of great personal interest to me. I was searching for that.
I see, I see. Well, since you have provided such marvelous sketches, well, I have heard a few rumors about, I don't know about the name you provided, but about a mirror that is said to allow communication, communion with the gods. Um, a Gith artifact, of course, um, locked away in a place known as, it's called my world map, Morganon.
1 second, let me get to my notes. Here.
Morgen.
Morgen.
Morganon.
Owen. Morganon.
Perhaps that rumor is more than that, and it could help you in your quest.
I appreciate that greatly. Thank you.
Of course. And if you find
Uh,
any additional information, I'd be happy to uh, to place it within the museum here. With your name, of course. What is your name? Sorry, I got swept away. Um, yes,
the show.
yes, and
DE space CHAUW.
pleasure to meet you.
Likewise.
He did not
Uh,
forget you. He totally forgot your name because you did say it.
it's okay because I have to ask what was his.
Yeah. Oh, Alistair Bradley.
Alistair Bradley. And out of character, what was the name of this museum?
This museum is known as the Lost Dream Museum.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yes, after all, I wrap up all my sketches, and likewise, I thank you for the information.
Of
I
course.
have some other business to attend to, but thank you very much, Alistair. I hope to return.
I await your return then. Um, perhaps with more information. Uh,
Ideally.
yeah. Well, good luck on whatever endeavor uh, draws you away, and may you have a pleasant evening.
You as well. Thank you very much.
All right.
Take my leave.
Give a farewell wave as you leave. All right.
Yes,
Anything
of
else you'd
course.
like to do?
I think that's all from me.
All right. So, in that case, I believe Paul and Flooster were going to the library of Arcanostra.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could, or get someone to specifically look into the soul food, see what they could learn from it. Maybe or maybe cast identify on it myself.
All right. Very good. Very good. Let me hide those because they're not there currently. Let's see here. walking into the Arcanostra, you would of course see the fine fellow at the gate, or at the entry hall behind the desk, the secretarial desk, Mibs. I'm gonna make them visible. Boop. You would see some other figures moving this way and that. Notably, you would see that there is one figure who looks. Um, you know of them. You have heard of them, but you've never seen them. Um, this is a tabaxi specifically, which is a little notable because you have been traveling with one who has got propensity for the um, soul. But this figure, dressed in wizard's attire, blue robes, carrying lots of scrolls from looks of it, are moving around, and yeah, looks like they're having a bit of trouble carrying all this stuff. Let me go make them visible. Don't judge my cat.
Oh
Let's
my
see
god,
here.
they're amazing.
Is there anyone else currently in here who's super notable?
And you're supposed to tell me that I have to imagine Floof as like a normal, like 6 foot tall human, when you also have this little bugger.
I
Look
know.
at him. He's incredible.
I know of this person, right?
You do know of them. You have never met them. They are known as Nobu Aldorathi. They are a mage who has visited every now and then, traveling from their homeland of the Mahaj Darath, which is the land of the Loxodon to the south. There has
Okay.
been somewhat of a back and forth with your guild of Arcanostra and um, them. You don't know if they have a guild or not. You would have to roll history for that, but yeah.
I would like to go over and offer assistance carrying their items.
All right, move on over.
I'll go with.
Well,
You look
approaching.
like you're having a little bit of trouble. Would you like some help carrying those?
Yes, I would not say no. It is appreciated. Here you go. Paper, 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 paper,
Quick
paper, paper,
tangent,
paper,
if
paper,
nobody
paper,
minds.
paper, 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 paper. He's keep putting paper on you.
My favorite thing about DMing is that you get to do crazy one-shot voices, and you don't have to commit to them at all because this character is going to be around for 5 minutes.
Joke's
All
on
right,
you.
so I am fairly good at carrying things since I can put things into my fur
It's true.
and carefully not to wrinkle them or anything like that. I just continually just take as much as I possibly can from
All right.
it.
And as more and more scrolls and different pieces of parchment are being dropped upon you, soaking into your fur and not dissolving, but morphing into your hidden extra dimensional space, which is your fur. There's a bit of a look of surprise upon him, and then a knowing smirk. Ah, one of the Al-Krashi. Well then, Al-Krashi, you have my attention.
Well, I have your paper.
That's why you have my attention, yes.
I love this so much.
Alright, I have no idea what they're talking about, so I choose to decide that Floop has no idea what they're talking about. It's just going along with it, just nods like, yes, uh-huh. And continues to, like, hold their things.
Hey, Nobu, while you're in town, could you help me with a little bit of a research project?
Yes, but one moment, I need to ensure that Al-Karafi does not take more than taked and gived. So, since you are carrying those for me, I am needing them transported to my new office here. if
right.
you don't
We
mind.
came in look for a friend here, but if you want, after we check in on them, I'm happy to help you carry them to wherever you need to go.
Blink, blink. I guess I'll follow you. Lead the way, Al-Karathi.
I just kind of smile and be like, okay, and I look around and be like, have you seen Ada?
To him?
Yes.
Ada,
She's
Ada.
about yay tall. She's got some hair, got a face.
That describes a lot of people. Any more details than that?
She's got like strawberry blonde hair. Carries a lot of knives, a lot of swords.
That
The
narrows it down a
dragon,
bit.
perhaps.
All right. I'm gonna look around. Do I see Ada anywhere?
Nope. Well, there are plenty of students here who have many knives. Strawberry blonde hair as well. I imagine they would be in the student wing. Which is
She's a
that way.
sun elf.
Ah, that is more important. Yes, I know of the one you speak. The yes, they're in
Spoiled rich girl.
yes, indeed. Study. They're in the study rooms, researching project. From what I heard from what some of the passers-by were hearing. Seems to be quite a thesis they're working on. It's that way.
All right. Floof kind of follows them to where they're going to.
All right. Do you also follow, Paul?
Yep.
All right. As you guys are approaching, Renea, you would see Floofster, Paul, this strange cat figure, all moving westward into the western wing of the building. You are muted if you're speaking.
Indeed, I was. Since Renea does already have Minerva following them, Renea is just gonna continue on back to wherever it is you make spells.
All right, to the lab, the Tower of Laboratory Tower. Yes. All right. So moving on through to the studies, you guys would eventually find Ada, who is currently neck deep in, well, their dissertation.
All right. I'm gonna go over to Ada and just like get real close and be like, "Hi, Ada."
If you broke anything, I'm not paying for it.
You always assume I broke something.
If you stole anything, I'm not paying for it.
Not yet. What
Okay.
you doing?
I am attempting to get Hestia recognized in the Pantheon of Kalbesh so that she may get some more worshippers to help her in whatever god war she is participating in. What have you been up to?
I got some paper. I just kind of hold out what I have in my hands and be like, I got some paper. I found a cat friend. And I smile at The guy behind me.
Yes, Al-Karathi has my papers.
My
Uh,
name is Floof.
can I roll to know what Akrathi means, Serge?
You can roll me a. You're not a linguistics major or anything like that, right? Nothing lore based in that.
No, but Paul is.
You can roll me an intelligence check. Paul, you can roll me intelligence plus proficiency if you'd like to know.
Okie dokie.
I think my int is a 0, so a
1T.
casual 20.
All right, Paul, you identify that Al-Karathi roughly translates to one that takes things.
Accurate.
Tabaxi things.
Yep. Floof Al-Karathi then.
Well, Floof, not knowing what that means, decides that it probably means something important and means something very cool. So they just nod and smile.
I mean, that'd be a feline word, wouldn't it? You speak feline.
Is that feline?
It is feline, yes.
Oh, then I do know.
Believe it or
I
not,
continue to
you do
smile.
speak language of cats.
Or do I? I do.
You also speak the language of mice.
You speak Scree.
So seeing all those papers, it is gonna try to like take a peek at a paper that they're holding, seeing if they can recognize any of the writing on it to kind of get a glance and tell what type of person Nobu is.
All right, let me go and look at those parchments 1 second. I need to
What
make
those
sure what
parchments,
language
do you
they're
have
in.
them all written out, Sage?
Not like all written out, but I have the basic concepts. I just make sure what language they're in. Because I don't believe feline has a text. I think it's only a vocal, so I'm pretty
If you
sure.
could put it in common or elven, that'd be convenient.
Let's see here. Feline, do you have a... There's no written language, excellent, which means your language that you would have these written in would be your secondary language, which would be... where is this language?
I think it's like common's their fourth language, isn't it, Sage?
No, that's their third language, but that would be hilarious if that wasn't written in that. No, where's your second language? No, that's simple enough. Alright, it's in common. It's not in
Nice.
Venaran, which was the third language they know. So that's
Oh my
good.
god.
That's
That would
good.
have been hilarious.
It would have been hilarious. Anyways, give me a perception check for a brief glance to see if you can get anything of note.
20. I don't have my sheet up right now because computer's off, so I have to take a guess what my perception bonus is. I'm pretty sure it's a 10. Because of all the bullshit that has been given to me. 10 seconds. Alright, hey, 26.
Alright. Glancing over the papers, trying to get an idea of what they're about. Let me roll a d6. Yep, wow, okay, that's simple. Looking over the first parchment that seems to catch your eye, it seems to be focused towards the creation and process of creation of magical items. Specifically, this one seems to be focused towards the use of reagents, siphoning away the magical energies within them to fuel the enchantment process. So a more detailed look at reagents, effectively.
So that would be something Ada would know about having lore in magical enchantments.
Indeed.
Ada gives him a respectful nod after scanning the paper.
Very good, very good.
So just coming by for a visit, or did something get broken and you need some help?
We just wanted to check in on you.
Okay, so just to make sure, no one's running around trying to like make another war on gods or like start another gang war or anything like that, right?
I kind of look away.
Now, specifically, there's no another gang war.
so-
Another gang war.
Paul,
We're looking into it.
Paul.
I have a plan.
Paul, no.
God, thank Christ somebody does.
Look,
What?
the
What
Devil's
happened?
Den. So, right now, we are in talks with the Pineholt Soul about how to deal with the Devil's Den. And once that is done, I have some hard evidence that can bring down the Pineholt Soul. And part of this evidence was actually kind of why I wanted to speak with you, Nobu. I was hoping you could help me investigate it a little bit further.
This is quite the undertaking you have taken on.
I thought we came here to relax for a few days.
This is your version of relaxing? Taking
No,
on
it's
gangs?
I'm confused. Is doing research not relaxing?
I'm concerned what your version of fun is.
I just realized his
I just look at him, just so excited. I like someone gets it.
I just realized the paper in his coat just says magical items.
It does.
In fancy writing. This little fucker. I love him.
I found my next PC.
How
Oh,
did
no.
you dip your hands into the underground, Paul?
Well,
I again look away.
I look
I love how you
directly
have-
at Floof. So
Flip has
Apparent-
such a high deception,
apparently,
and they never use it.
apparently Floof
Say what?
had a connection with the Pineholt Soul, which is very, very dubious. And well, are we alone? Like the four of us?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to bring out the boxes of food. So this restaurant, so the Pineholt Soul serves food that is made out of souls. And apparently, Floof has been a regular customer and has entirely lost her soul from eating these. And I mean that
Would he
quite
know that I
literally.
entirely lost my soul?
I mean that in the literal sense. You have no soul.
Well, it's debatable if you have a soul in the first place if you're willing to eat another. So,
Hey!
And this is highly illegal. Once we're done with the Devil's Den, if we can analyze this or whatever, we could use it as evidence to bring down the Pineholt Soul, or at least get the guards to take them on.
So clearly this was a good idea that I went there and got those soul food, because now we can take them down. You're welcome.
Did you knowingly eat? Did you know that they had souls before you went there the first time to eat that from there?
I did not.
Insight check.
That is a plus 13 to 7.
That's a plus 13 to 7.
They
Technically,
They didn't
when I
know.
went in there, I did not know that they had souls there.
The
I was
second
looking
time,
for
though.
noodles.
the second time though.
Round 2.
But he's asking about the first time, which is technically not deception.
Yeah, they don't see me lying.
When was the second time you went there?
When you guys went there.
Huh. So I secured a meeting with apparently the leader of the Pineholt Soul tonight. I think we should round up everyone to go talk to him to see about the Devil's Den, and then maybe deliver this evidence to some prosecutor or something after that.
So, Sage, I want to make sure of something. you mentioned a gang war before happening, right?
Yeah,
Me and Paul were living here at the time that happened, right?
assumedly.
Do we know how bad that was?
Well, it wasn't pretty. Um, the slums and the southern residential district were more often than not on fire. Um, the temple district itself was fairly safe. It was kind of like a safe haven for those fleeing from the war going on. Um, However, the war suddenly stopped rather abruptly, like no rhyme or reason that is known to any of the guards or the Lord. But yeah, it wasn't a good war. No one
So,
was really happy about it.
Ada's going to look over at Paul. You remember how the whole south side was basically on fire for months,
Of course I do.
and you want to start that up again?
No, I want to prevent something like that from ever happening again. You can't have a gang war if you have no gangs. And Paul taps his forehead.
There's always going to be gangs in big cities like this.
Not
You
if
can't
you take
stop
not if you
crime.
take them down. I mean, these are very organized gangs. Crime is always going to exist, but organized crime can be stopped.
So at this point, Minerva will speak up, dropping her invisibility as she does so.
Ah, get it!
Renea wanted me to ask you, you plan to stop a gang war with another gang war?
It wouldn't be a
The
war. It would be
Minerva's
a
being attacked by Nobu. You just summon a ball that's glowing in front of him.
Cat gopher.
Cat Cooper. It's not actually taking any damage, but they are totally chasing that ball.
Can I also go chase that ball?
Float up as high as she can.
You're in reach,
You have
Floof.
I'm gonna help
to back
prop
us.
him up.
Teamwork is dreamwork.
I'm gonna help
This
prop him up
makes
to get
me
it.
This
I'm-
makes me so happy.
He's going to pause a moment there as he realizes what he's doing. His eyes will go back to normal size pupils. He will brush himself off. Ah, sorry, got carried away.
So,
I'm gonna look at him and say, "Get it, get it."
His tail twitches a couple times. He nearly pounces, but he maintains control.
I love this so much.
I would like to know how you think that getting one gang to wipe out another gang won't be a gang war.
Here's the thing. If you can cut the head off the snake, the body flounders. If we do that to the Devil's Den, they're going to practically disband overnight. And after that, bring the evidence to the top prosecutor, or whoever the equivalent of that would be, and they take down the Pinehold Soul. Maybe with our help if they need it.
with a well-run organization, it's going to be closer to a Hydra, where one head gets cut off, more grow back, and make things worse.
I don't
And-
think you know what you're in here, Paul. We spoke to the Draconis Legion. This time it's Renea speaking through Minerva, this time, instead of Minerva speaking for her. We spoke to the Draconis Legion, and adventurers have tried in the past, and most of them have failed. This would be a major undertaking, and
So there is a chance.
they suggested using subtlety and not go in fireballs blazing, because that's liable to get us killed.
Well, then what would you propose we do?
I'll start a gang war.
So you would. I hear
There
what
was
you're
an-
saying, but would you just allow them to continue kidnapping people? And one gang is kidnapping people and turning them into food, and the other is just terrorizing the slums. Clearly, we cannot do nothing.
You have a point, but we also have our own fires to deal with. The evidence you have should, well, if there's any justice, it should bring the ministerium down upon their heads, right?
Perhaps. Maybe if I could deliver this to the Draconis Legion.
When you went to this place that sold soul food, did you go in disguise?
No.
They didn't.
Did you see who else was there? The other patrons. A place like that is going to have high society people there who would probably recognize you.
Did I see any people of high society there?
You did, yes.
Okay.
If you take this down, they're going to go after you and our family.
I think you and I are more than capable of protecting our family.
But as our brothers and sisters, they can't
We
defend
have-
themselves. We can't be here the whole time.
We could hire more guards.
That can also be paid off by other high society members who have more sway than we do. It will not be safe.
I mean, is anything we're doing safe?
They are kidnapping people and turning them into souls. Doing nothing is not an option.
But starting a gang war to make them fight each other is also not going to end well for anybody.
What would you propose we do?
I study how to make things hit sharper, not political economics.
Well, that's just a poor argument.
Doesn't the Ministerium have inquisitors and the like, whose duty is to deal with things like this specifically? Potentially
Perhaps.
volatile political situations?
They're subtly finding out the locations they are making the soul food and taking those down would probably be our best bet if that's the goal.
But in any case, we should deliver the soul food to someone
Yes.
as evidence.
The question is, do you want to become involved in a situation with all the political nuance like this? Is that something you think you can handle? Or would we be better suited dealing with more concrete and direct threats, like the trouble in Kraken's Hollow or Saraye?
That does need to be dealt with.
So both the system restores has failed.
Oof.
So at this point, I'm just not sure what to do about the computer.
Yeah. Maybe we can go over it in a bit, but yeah.
Yeah. It's a shame.
Because I can't speak for anyone else, but I definitely have no clue of how to negotiate a political situation. I'm just a girl from a village.
You could call in a favor.
With who?
It's gonna look to the left, look to the right, look to the left. The one that speaks.
Do I know who that is?
Roll me a history check. With disadvantage, because you're not from the region.
She's suggesting you call in a favor with a warlock patron.
Is she suggesting you call in a favor with him?
25.
Strangely enough, you have heard of tales of this one that speaks. It is said that they are a Darathi myth, Mahaj Darath. What's the actual pronunciation of that? It's a bitch.
And that
Yeah,
is
Mahaj
the-
Darath.
What is Mahaj Darath?
Mahaj Darath is the country, the Loxodon, to the southwest of Calabash. It is kind of like a bogeyman. Renea was not far off when they said make a deal with the patron, as they are considered a patron.
What kind of patron?
Well, let me go bring up that specific. Nope. Let's see here.
One who speaks sounds vaguely warlocky to me.
Oh, it's
so
definitely a warlock patron. I just need to figure out which pact it is, which means I need to go bring up my notes for him. Let's see here. The one that speaks.
I've not known that much, but I know enough to realize, sounds like a warlock.
Sounds eldritch to me.
Pretty much. We'll ignore the celestial locks for the purpose of this conversation.
For the joke.
All right. 1 second. Da, da, da. It should be that. I'm just not having. I'm having issues trying to find the actual name of it because I know what they are. I don't want to say it because I'll spoil things, but I'm trying to find the name of their patron itself, or not the patron itself, type of pact. Is it that one? I think it's that one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is it.
Floof, who does not know who the one who speaks is going to look at him and say, "Who's that?"
God bless.
He is a myth of my people. A being of power, one that weaves fate, bends the will and the minds, grants wishes on occasion. They are an interesting entity. It is said that those who are in a bind can call upon them in a ritual, can ask a service of them. This service will come with a price, of course, as all services do. But what is asked will be granted.
Where can I find... What exactly is this ritual?
Oh, well, that is in one of the papers that your friend there has. You know, Valkarathi would like to give that back.
I'm gonna look at the papers and be like, which one? Kind of.
The one sealed in wax.
I'm going to find the one sealed in wax and hand it to him.
All right, you'll take the paper from you. Quick thing before I do anything with this. This is some potent stuff here. I'm gonna need to test each of you.
Okay.
I didn't study.
I love tests.
You. What is your
Can I
favorite
cheat
color?
off Ada?
Blue.
No cheating.
Purple.
No cheating.
All right.
I love this one.
What would you do if you were handed a spoon and a knife and were told to feast upon a human?
I would not feast upon the human.
If I were to ask you to bring me a muffin from the highest mountains of the William Smoke, would you do this?
Depends on if you're paying.
I like you. All right. You. What is your favorite color?
God damn it.
Purple.
I should have guessed that because you kind of interrupted that one's questions. Anyways. If I were to hand you a fork and told you it was the fork of truth, would you spread the truth of this, or would you lie? Or, third option, would you take it for yourself and hold the truth only for your own benefit?
I guess it would depend on what the truth is.
Truth's a fork. It's the true fork of
The
truth.
truth of fork? The
No,
fork truth?
fork is the truth.
Yes, fork truth.
I don't know what that answer means, but I'll take it.
I feel like this is a layered metaphor that Floof just is not getting. And honestly, neither is Nathan.
Last question.
That is great.
I'm lost.
Will you give me back my stuff?
I hand it back to him.
Excellent. He's gonna hold it, not being able to really hold it because there's a lot of papers. All right, you.
Do you want me to help you carry that?
Not yet. What is your favorite color?
Purple.
Not you.
It's purple. Say purple.
I'm assuming you're pointing at Ada now, right?
Yeah.
The sunset.
That's not really a color. It's more of like a shade of colors, but okay. Is that cheating? He's gonna look at Paul. I feel like that's cheating.
Is that cheating?
I'd let it slide.
All right. I know I liked you for a reason. If I were to ask you to form for me an item that could destroy the soul of a creature, would you do so?
Yeah, what's up? He,
Ada's first was trying to think like, is that a thing that's possible, Sage? Can you like destroy souls? Other things that destroy souls?
Roll me a lore check. Intelligence based.
Do I have proficiency because?
That's why it's lore, yeah. Yeah. When I say lore, that means that there's a skill that you would not have, but lore would give you the proficiency. So, yeah, because I know you would have lore proficiency. So, yeah. 22. It's possible. You haven't heard any like cases where it worked or anything like that, or any like items that have this enchantment, but theoretically it is possible.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I get the question one more time?
If you were to be tasked by your friendly neighborhood Nobu to forge a weapon that can destroy a soul, would you do so?
No, you'd be mad for trying.
Last question. If I were to grant you one wish, anything in the world could be yours with this wish, what would your wish be?
Say purple.
Purple's... Why would you even do with purple? I feel like you need an extra question.
I mean, hold on. I'm just saying, if you hold the power of purple itself, the essence of a color of reality.
we all know what Harold did with that crayon. Like, come on.
It's true. This is quite a ponderous question, I see.
Did you not hear my answer?
No, I did not.
Peace among all races.
Very good. Well then, you have passed my test, although you I'm unsure of now. Anyways,
What is his test even?
I can grant you this ritual. I of course will need to be present to perform it. But there is one caveat. The test must be performed at nighttime, under the moonlight. Luckily, there's still moonlight happening tomorrow night or tonight or the next night. So there's room there. More than that, you will need to be prepared to accept any consequences from this.
What do the consequences typically involve?
Well, it could vary greatly. Have you heard the tale of the City of Brass?
Well, I know what the City of Brass is, but the tale?
Yes.
Enlighten me.
Well,
Can I roll to see if I know?
you are from Calabash, correct? Or no,
Yes.
you're from that. You're from the continent over there.
No,
I
yeah.
remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
You can roll, yes. It'd be history. Let's see here. You have
The cat
no
knows
idea.
nothing.
Nothing. Not even a little bit.
The cat knows nothing.
The cat doesn't even know what brass is.
Well, let us begin with a bit more of a simplification of this, because it's quite a long
I'm gonna
tale.
say I believe that brass is a metal.
Yes, it is, Al-Karathi. Yes, it is. Pat, pat, pat.
I purr softly.
But yes, the City of Brass, the tale goes as follows. One of the great sultans of Mahaj Darath invoked within a magic lamp, a jinn, specifically a merid. This jinn granted upon the sultan wishes three. The wishes, of course, were the traditional sort offered by kings, common folk, wealth beyond power, strength among mortals, um, greater command of the world, that sort of thing, you know. It varies from story to story. There's different iterations of sorts, but effectively, greed. Greed powered them. Greed and a personal sense of pride. This was their downfall. They wished for things, not thinking of the consequences, not thinking of what would befall them, or the intricate details. For you see, Jinn, they are tricksters. They seek to find loopholes, ways to turn your wish against you. The Sultan did not know this. The Sultan thought they struck gold. And because of this, the great deserts of Marahaj Darath were born. A kingdom of sand. Wealth beyond measure in sand. One thing is true, though. He did get stronger than most mortals. That's not saying much, though. It's like a 22 strength, so, you know.
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
And that one was pretty clear cut. But, it is said that the Sultan now lies within the heart of this desert. A beast trapped within their sands itself. Lord of the sands, they send storms and the like to batter down unwary travelers, to take with them the riches that they bring with them. This is the tale of the City of Brass, at least one of them. It is one that's most relevant to this conversation, though. There's others, of course.
Wait, is he referencing the City of Brass in the elemental plane of fire, or an actual place on the material plane?
You believe that he is mentioning elemental plane of fire.
Okay.
Specifically, Jin are natives of that, so him calling it the tale of City of Brass is probably just him giving a
Right,
more
but a
common
Marid,
tongue version of the word.
But isn't a Marid a water genie?
That is true, yes. The Efriti at the City of Brass often like to play dangerous tricks, capturing and corrupting Merids. This corruption turns them vile, turns them mad. Of course, there are some Jinn that are friendly, that would not deceive or trick, but more often than not, you will get ones that are assholes. Be perfectly frank.
And you're suggesting that calling upon the one that speaks could bring about consequences of this nature?
If you are not careful, yes. You would need to make sure that one does not wish for purple out of the blue. That'll be bad. I don't know the ramifications of that, but that'll be bad.
Well, if you
Somehow
don't
think
know
I
the
could
ramifications,
articulate
how
a
do you
wish
know they're bad?
better than purple.
Well, let's say I wished for water. That's pretty open-ended. I could suddenly be in an ocean, the middle of an ocean. Suddenly, this entire continent could be filled with water, and it could be a water planet now. Or I could just have a bottle of water. You know, it could be anything. It's rather open-ended, and if it's a dick, it's gonna fuck you over. So your purple could turn you purple. Can make everything purple. Can make purple poisonous, so if you see purple, you die. Yeah, I mean, it can be lots of things. It's very simplistic.
Fucking please.
So yes, what I am suggesting is that we could use this scroll.
I wish to control the powers of purple.
Do we need anything specific for the ritual?
Oh, a diamond. Yeah, I don't have that, so you'll have to procure a diamond.
How big of a diamond?
10 carat.
How much is that in money?
10 carat diamonds, they are materials, precious stones and gems, diamonds. Boop, 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 times 10 equals
Didn't
1,170
Renea
gold.
already like basically buy all the diamonds in the city?
I mean, Renee did buy a diamond, or 3 diamonds total, yeah. One of which was 10 carats.
But we should probably keep that for resurrections. If it's 1,000 something, I could probably pick one up at the store.
That is on you. I am not here to procure diamonds.
Well, I have some business to attend to tonight, but could I meet you back here tomorrow night for the ritual?
Yes, I'll be in Kalbesh, specifically in Sonata, for some time. So, I'll be here. My office is on the 3rd floor. Yep. I'll be teaching conjuration, if you're wondering.
Good to know.
Yep. Anyways, now that's done, can you hold my stuff while we bring these to my office?
I nod and hold out my hands.
I will hold out my hands.
You'll place them in Paul's hands.
And then I will assist him.
Excellent. Alright. His office is fairly bare bones. Looks like it's not decorated at all, like someone recently moved out and was picked clean of anything. But just place it there on the desk. The one piece of furniture here.
I will plop it all on the desk.
Excellent. Alright, well, have fun with your date. And you're now left alone.
Well, sort of. Minerva's still there. You're not seriously considering going through with this ritual, are you?
Of course I am. Look.
Why?
Floof looks excited.
All of the tales of people making wishes and getting screwed over by them, it's very easy to see how stupid they are with their wishes. I am not stupid.
It is debatable if you think this is a good idea.
Looks at character sheet. Hold on a second. trust myself.
But are you wise on your character sheet?
14 wisdom.
That is certainly above average.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to do it or not.
Mhm.
You already warned about the ramifications if you fuck up, so.
So
I
you
want
want to consider using a ritual to summon some sketchy, otherworldly being told to you by a sketchy wizard who told you that this being destroyed an entire country by reducing it to sand.
Do you think I would wish for something that could be misinterpreted into destroying an entire country?
Yes, absolutely.
Preposterous. Look, I will be as specific and detailed with my wishes I can.
Right, then what do you plan on wishing for?
Well, in regards to this situation, for the upper management of the Pineholt Soul and the Devil's Den to drop dead.
Oh yeah, I see no way that could go wrong.
That would be very specific. It is not open to interpretation. The leaders of the Pineholt Soul and the Devil's Den will drop dead.
What happens if there's more people affected than just who you think will be affected?
Well, if they're a part of such if they're a part of organized criminal organizations, is that really such a loss?
What if they're not?
Then that's not in accordance with my wish.
But it's still within the allowances of the wording. What if there's a tavern 5 miles down the road that has the same name? And
To
its
be
own
fair, if they were to drop dead, there's no reason that other people would not drop dead.
It's just pawn and airing.
What do you mean by that? If I were to wish for the upper management of the Pineholt Soul and the Devil's Den to drop dead, do you think that just every single person on Earth would just die? Or Cadron would die?
what you asked for could be interpreted as such, and this being's power
It is impossible to interpret that in that way.
This is an even worse plan than starting a gang war to fix the problem.
Anyways, tonight we have a meeting with John Doe. What should we say to him during this meeting?
I personally think you shouldn't even attend the meeting.
I specifically called a meeting with him. I'm going to go. And I'd like to have as much backup as I possibly could.
I'm not setting foot anywhere near them.
Okay,
I'll come with you.
thank you. Ada, will you join me?
Floof looks
I
at you
am-
and nods.
I'm very confused on the positioning where everyone is right now.
Oh,
Because I
let's just say-
thought Floof and group left Ada to go take these to an office.
And then I
Uh,
came back.
Yeah, we came back.
I guess it was that. I suppose I'll be there just in case things go south.
Thank you. Now I need to get in touch with Deshow, Kenna, and John. Well, could be a good opportunity for me to test out my new broom.
I believe Kenna returned to your house.
Right, that's right. John might be back there too. Deshow. Did Deshow ever say where he was going?
What a question that is. I think he would have just said he was going to run a few errands.
Okay. Paul is going to pull out the card with the address. Is going to show Floof and Ada, and and Minerva, and says, "Meet me here in 30 minutes if you change your mind." And then Paul is going to get on his broom and fly to the Salient State, pick up John, or inform John and Kenna, and then
30 minutes a little early.
What time is it currently?
It is. Let's see here.
Like mid-afternoon at the latest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Traveling down there. It's about 2. Like
It's
2:10,
currently
2:20.
Okay. Oh, well then.
How far is this place from the Arcanostra?
So, the address that was given to you. Let me just zoom on out. Come on, load on up. There we go. The address that was given to you. Now that I'm not zoomed out in player view. I'll zoom out in DM view. 1 second. My map tool is being super slow. That's what happens when you have a giant city map.
He's big.
He's big indeed.
Has a bridge.
It does have bridge, yes. Alright, is it done being frozen? Maybe. Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, okay. This is the address. Or, sorry, south. There we go. It's off kilter a bit.
Okay, and then I guess Paul will spend all the time up until then trying to research anything he can about the soul noodles and the one that speaks.
Alright. Roll me a history check with disadvantage. And for the soul noodles, roll me a religion check.
Are you gonna give the soul noodles to anyone before
Actually,
we...
soul noodles. That would be higher tier in the Arcanostra. You would not find anything on soul noodles.
Okay, so no need to make a roll?
No need to make a roll.
Okay, and then a 19 for the one that speaks.
There doesn't seem to be any concrete information on them in the Arcanostra library. There is mention. Just mentions them as some outsider from the Dorothi Expanse. And by outsider, it does mean extraplanar being.
Okay.
Not like,
One might call them an ancient alien.
Stop. God, Lee, I swear to God, you can't be allowed to keep doing this.
I will do as I please.
No.
All right. So, traveling on over to Jean and all that good stuff. Anything anyone wants to do before stuff happens?
So, I am able to make it to the meeting tonight after all of the paperwork. Or does the paperwork take too much time?
You are able to make it, yes.
Wonderful.
About what time was it when I got out of the museum?
About 4-ish.
4-ish?
Yeah, 4-ish.
Okay.
Ooh, I would like to do something specifically that I
Yeah.
just thought of. I'm going to basically write down everything that I know about the soul food in relation to the Pineholt soul. I'm going to seal it in a letter, and I'm going to give it to one of my staff, Giuseppe. And I say, if I don't come back, bring these boxes of food to the Inquisitors. Is that who we decided on? for turning the box of food to?
I mean, getting the Holy Crusaders on the warpath sounds like the best option to
Mhm.
me, so yes.
Yeah. If anything happens to me, bring this letter and these boxes to the Inquisitors. Can you do that, Giuseppe?
He's currently thinking up a voice for Giuseppe.
Oh, sorry. I was reading stuff. Let's see here. Your butler's Giuseppe. Of course, sir. Right away, sir.
Can always count on you.
I love it. I love this man. If anything were to happen to this man, I would kill everybody in the room and then myself.
Jesus, that's extreme.
That's the quote.
That is the quote.
It's like, you
Fair
know,
enough.
the internet and Jester.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
fair enough.
Can you perhaps point out that location we're meeting up again? Or perhaps send a screenshot through the thing? Because Twitch is just
It's right here.
being a bitch.
The Kavera Estate.
Okay.
Hmm. Indeed, indeed. So, anything you guys would like to do for traveling?
Ada wants to scout out the meeting location before we get there. So like a good hour and a half before the meeting's supposed to happen.
I want to come with.
All right. How are you going about your scouting it out?
If you could send me a screenshot of the location so I can kind of see what's going on, that might help.
Yeah, one second. I'm just trying to find the manor map. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of things to get through. Because I had the Devil's Den area readied and all that good stuff. I didn't think you guys were gonna go and get a meeting with this guy. So
Haha.
Renee would ask Paul, do you want Minerva to come with you? Or do you think that would be potentially hazardous?
Maybe keep her at a distance. But it would be useful if you knew what was going on.
Not mingling and things like this. It's a bad idea.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
Other than discovering the soul trade, going to that place was a bad idea.
Perhaps, but could be the best way to end everything that's going on with them.
How much of a distance do you want Minerva at?
Maybe 200 feet above.
I'm not finding this map. I might just have to grab one that will work.
Alright. The only way she's seeing anything is if you use magic to send her a message. Be that sending or dimension dooring up in the air. I think you can do that. Daniel sounded like he could do that. Or, you know, a ray of frost, or not ray of frost, firebolt into the sky.
Yeah, I'm not finding it, but I found a suitable replacement, so we'll just grab this one. There we go.
You come to me on
Just
the
grab this thing.
evening of my daughter's wedding.
Yeah.
Go grab the second floor as well.
I swear to God that that happens. All right. Well, we were unaware of that. You're the one who set up the meeting. We
All
can
right.
come back another time.
So, for purposes of JC and your scouting, go to the first floor. This is what you're looking for at. Although less
Twitch
spooky.
Streams doesn't loaded.
It gets the job done. It's not fully accurate, but it gets the job done.
The Twitch stream isn't loading for us.
It's not. I would
It's
refresh
'cause
it.
I'm using phone internet, Sage.
That's true. Yeah.
Refreshing can still
You're
have
on a
that hiccup.
dial-up connection?
I have.
Hit me as well.
Yeah, they're using data.
I'm using my phone's hotspot, so
Now
I
I'm
can
just
only do
snip this for you.
so much currently.
Too bad we don't live in New Zealand. We could be meeting in person, except for our two people who live in Idaho for some weird reason.
Nothing wrong with Idaho.
Wait, hold on.
What?
They got potatoes.
Who lives in Idaho for some weird reason? What? What?
Come on.
Wait, I'm just confused by the proposal. Like, if we all lived in New Zealand,
then
we
two
can all
of us
meet
wouldn't be
except for
living
the
in
people
Idaho.
that don't, except for the people that live in Idaho.
So,
That
are
is
you
Everyone knows
suggesting
Idaho
that...
can't go to New Zealand.
Yeah, it's
I
like
was referring to
vampires.
the fact that New Zealand has actually managed to get the pandemic on lockdown, and they don't have to quarantine anymore.
Well, shocker. They're the lost sunken city of New Zealand. It's a lot easier.
True. They only have
It's like
one
saying-
citizen, and it's the sniper. All the rest are sunken.
There you go. See that, JC?
Yes.
All right, there you go.
Okay, so Ada just wants to go around the surrounding like streets, checking it out first.
Roll me perception check.
That's a +10. I have a 20 passive perception.
All right. I also need you to roll me a stealth or a deception check.
As we go to leave, I want to eat a food token, Sage.
Well, this would be before you go to leave. Unless you mean leaving to go to the manor.
Yeah, as I'm leaving to go check it out. I wish to nom a token.
I will allow it, but you should do that before me calling for skill checks.
I'm gonna get myself advantage to wisdom's ability checks.
All right.
20. Keep 1 +10. Wow. My passive is actually higher than that right now.
It's true. All right. Now
My
for your
passive
stealth
is
or deception. And anyone else
Nice.
who is with you needs to roll these too.
It seems there is a floof accompanying me, so I can't really stop them.
Mm.
You absolutely can, and oh my, this is a fully plotted out estate.
I have
This looks much bigger than the one on the map.
I think you have 12. 19 stealth. Hey, I can see myself stealth. And here comes the floof stealth. You have a +12 stealth. Or were you rolling perception?
I was.
Okay, so that would be a 22 stealth.
22 stealth, and yours is a 19 stealth.
I have a 19 stealth.
All right. So, and what about a Floofster's perception?
I honestly forgot about the dragons. Hold on.
Taking Ixen with you to scout out a place?
Durgan.
Because, I mean, Ixen is extraordinarily noticeable.
Well, you say that, but the dragon guild still hasn't come to,
Nat 20.
you know, purify.
All right.
And 20 for the dragon's perception.
So, looking over the manor, you three would notice that the place is heavily guarded. There are plenty of figures dressed in similar attire, the fine cloth pants, silken shirts, vests, all that good stuff. But they do seem to have weapon holsters, whether it be blade, scabbards at their hips or upon their back, or similar things. The holsters don't seem to have any weapons in them, though.
Okay. Any crests that I can see?
Crests, there is a family crest upon the mantle of the stairwell, of the front area. Let's see here. The symbol itself. Let's see here. You are. Let me go look at your factional information. Da, 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 da. I think it's this guy's symbol. Ba, ba, ba. Yeah. All right, now where's your symbol? All right. The symbol you would see appears to be a closed fist surrounding a chain that wraps around 3 times and then goes down, kind of like dangling a bit.
Oh. Oh.
JC.
So, I didn't hear anything for like past minute.
So the symbol you
'Cause
see, which is on the mantelpiece of the stairwell leading into the main part of the manor, is a closed fist with a chain that wraps around 3 times and then kind of goes down and dangles a bit.
Ah, yes, they are the House of Cassius. Got it. Or are they Sage?
No.
Okay. Do I recognize this symbol?
You can
Being
give
a
me
fellow
a
noble.
history check, because history is my default knowledge local/knowledge nobility.
I'm gonna actually fight you, Sage.
I feel like those skills should be re-added. I feel so left out. There's so many knowledge checks that I'm just defaulting to history because nothing else works.
Hey, look, I got a 2.
You
live in this city,
missed.
Sage.
You skipped heraldry day apparently. The DC wasn't that high, but you rolled a 2, and I'm even including the fact that you would have lore in this. Yeah, no. You
I
do
live
not
in the city,
recall
Sage.
any noble family that has this crest.
Ada only cares about 2 crests, her own and the crest of the royal family.
I would have them roll for that, but it's literally a DC 0 to know about the noble family. So unless you have a negative intelligence, you're going to know about their crest. Specifically if you're from here. It's much higher if you're not from here. But
Much higher can encompass like any number in this case.
Yeah, like 3.
yeah. For those from Aether Storm, it's DC 15.
All right, I do have a question.
Yes.
Are there any guards around who are by themselves or seem distracted or anything like that?
Roll me a perception
Oh no,
check.
what are you doing?
I'm afraid.
I can tell you this much: none are by themselves. They travel in pairs. At least those who are traveling. There are those who are like by the main gateway, which are in groups of 4, or the side gateway, which are in groups of 4. But yeah. All right. As a decent roll, I will give you a choice: high or low. Floof. Buddy, old pal.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. All right. No one appears to be distracted during your watch.
I'm gonna pull Ada aside to somewhere that is a little bit more private, kind of just outside of the where anyone could hear us.
We're already pretty far away.
And I'm gonna say, if we could get one of their uniforms, perhaps we could have someone on the inside listening in.
We don't really have a way in, or could have anyone that would be able to play as one of them.
Well, someone as recognizable as you or I may not be a good option. But we do have some people in our group, or even people that we could hire to scope things out, per se.
That's what we're doing right now.
Well, there's a difference between looking at a closed chest and picking the lock and opening it.
If you want to go into it, I'm not going to stop you.
Good to know. And I'm going to take note of the patrol patterns that they are taking.
How long
Just
do you
gonna
want
watch
to
them for a while.
watch?
I'm gonna say a good 2 hours. Wait, we're there for an hour and a half before, aren't we? I'm gonna say half hour.
All right. Roll me a martial check. All right. Oh, time given, looking over them and watching the patrol routes. Um, you think there are a few places where there is a lax in security. Specifically, you believe that the backmost gate around this area here, there's a brief moment when the guards who are coming from the main entryway are not in this area, so they can actually see in that way, and the guards up here curve around from some trees and lose sight. So there is a decent gap, maybe about a minute, where this area here is open. You also have another gap, which is specifically during the eastern flank. There isn't actually that much patrols on the eastern flank of the manor. On that side, you have a solid 5-minute gap between patrols.
then the eastern flank would probably be a better option. I am going to try and get close.
Scurrying your way forward, making your way towards the gates and the fence. Let's see here.
All right. I would like to cast invisibility.
All right. I will allow that. Simply because Ada's
Alright.
next to you. All right. Going invisible, your form disperses from sight, and you begin to stealth your way closer to the gated uh, manor house. Um, Next to the wall, you are now at the wall itself. You can see that the smooth iron bars rise up maybe about um, 5 feet. There is a brief, like a foot or so of stonework beneath that, but yeah, effectively 6 feet wall. But only 5 feet of it is like proper iron bars where you can see through them without issue.
Alright, so if none of these guards have any weapons, do they look like they are spellcasters or people who would know different kinds of magic?
Roll me a martial check.
I rolled an 11.
All right, with an 11, looking over the guards here, you don't know if they have any magic or anything like that. They don't seem to have any weapons on them, although they do have the sheaths, the scabbards to hold weapons. They just don't seem to have any on them. So maybe they have magic, maybe they don't. You don't know.
They're pulling a John. Don't trust him.
I was actually just thinking the same thing. Them being in pairs makes this a little bit more difficult. Maybe I can just get an idea of how they handle a situation. Could I like pick up a rock and throw it somewhere to see how they react?
You can certainly try, however, that may break your invisibility.
All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna think.
All right. Meanwhile, while all this fuckery is happening, what is everyone else doing?
Desho is probably like walking around. Maybe pops into like a tavern or something.
Hmm.
Just is in the city.
Excellent. I'm assuming John is still doing their taxes and all that write-ups for the bank,
Pretty much.
and
Yeah.
Renea's doing their studying all that good stuff. Kenna, what's Kenna doing? All right.
Did you say something, Brayden? You were very quiet.
Yeah, I can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I just said that she was going to be reading a book.
Excellent. All right. In that case, we know what people are doing. So, Paul. What is Paul doing?
Well, I assume I would have been spending all my time before the meeting researching. And this was what I rolled for last time. But just as a general note before the meeting, like before we go in, I'm going to ritual cast Detect Magic.
All right. And that is before going into
But before going into the estate.
the state you're meeting with. Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha. All right. Um, a period back while you're studying though, before you actually head out.
I don't know. Pass.
No, no. This is a thing for me. Um, I'm just looking at some stuff. All right. While you are studying within the Arcanostra, um, doing your stuff, um, a figure would approach you. A figure you would recognize these figures. They are guards within the Arcanostra. Um, some call them Templar, some call them Mage Guard. Uh, Similar names like that. Effectively, they are um, the protectors of the mages here, as well as the hunters of rogue mages.
Okay.
Um, uh, think Dragon Age, but less of a butting heads type of situation.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Anyways, the Templar would approach, bedecked in their plated armor, um, swords sheathed, all that good stuff. Let me grab a cup because they are helmeted. Excuse me, sir. May I have a word with you?
Sure. May I ask what this is all about?
I have received reports that there was a potential disturbance within the Arcanostra here. A threat. We are hoping that you could enlighten us to this threat.
Sure. Yes. What was this threat?
Well, we received word that there is some magic held here that could potentially cause chaos, havoc, if released. We are hoping, since you were once speaking with the culprit, that you might have more knowledge on this. One Nobu.
Nobu made a threat against Arcanostra?
No, no, no. From what we heard, what we gathered, they hold a scroll that can summon a being of power that, if given um, improper direction, could prove disastrous. These magics, of course, are highly restricted, and we just want to clarify things with you, as you are the one who spoke with them, and more importantly, you are of amethyst rank.
Of course. What do you need to be clarified?
Do they hold this scroll?
I believe so.
All right. And do you know who they intended to cast this magic with?
Yes. They offered, or they spoke to me specifically about summoning it, but that would be a terrible idea. So I decided not to.
Are you lying?
Yes.
Roll me deception.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Let me go into DM view and type my secret roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm
That
gonna
ain't
I'm gonna add
half
a destiny.
All right.
Jeez.
That
Let's
ain't
see
half
here.
bad.
That's a 20 total.
Let's see.
That ain't half
And
bad.
for any insight checks, this is gonna be a. I'm gonna ask the group out of character. Should I portent an 11 uh for their insight check?
Well,
Can a guard have +9 wisdom?
yeah, like I feel like they certain don't got that +9
They
wisdom.
probably don't have a +9,
I
but
I
if
think you should do it because I. So what's your other portent?
uh
Actually, you
12.
get
I have 11 and 12. Pretty
11 and
mediocre.
12. Well, mediocre is good.
It's up to you.
I personally think you should because we may
I
be
don't want to
going
chance
somewhere.
it. Yes.
Yeah, but we haven't used these dice in how long?
Yeah. I am going to portent an 11 for their insight check.
All right. Thank you for giving me a +5 because I rolled a 6.
Still,
Unfortunately, I still failed.
Okay, well.
But yeah, I rolled horrible.
ooh, what is it?
All right.
No. No.
Well, I see.
Nice, thank you. Did you manage to pick up a drink? Oh, that's wicked.
Well, that is
Thank you.
the extent of it.
Thank you.
I believe that is all we need from you. Thank you for your time. Have to go and. Do you know what floor this Nobu is on?
Third.
Third. Thank you.
Can I ask what do you intend to do with Nobu?
They have not broken any laws yet. They merely have just arrived in the city, so a warning, a reminder of our laws on these more strict magics, and a confiscation of the scroll.
Of course. And may I ask who tipped you off to Nobu?
Oh, that would be a young red-haired woman.
Fucking shocker. Fucking shocker.
Okay. Thank you for keeping us safe.
Of course. All in a day's work.
Fucking narc.
Just a solid 2 seconds of silence and then fucking narc.
What's the old adage about snitches getting I don't know.
Just remember, who's the person who patches you up with stitches?
Who's the person whose job can be replaced with potions?
Anyways, Paul, high or
The
low?
automation of the health workforce is really endangering the economy.
Hi. Damn it.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Anyways, your research continues. No issue there. However, near the end of it, as you're actually getting up to leave, Nobu would enter into your study area. Let me zoom on here. DM view, making them visible. Come on. You're a slow computer, I know. Even though you're not supposed to be slow. Boop. There we go. What was that all about? I thought we were cool.
I didn't want to get in trouble. Look, they clearly knew something. I couldn't just deny even knowing you.
It's fair. We're still on.
Didn't they confiscate the scroll from you?
That's what they thought. I have my tricks.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I gave him a fake scroll. It's all good.
Sage?
Yeah?
Could I do a martial of Nobu from before when I was studying them?
Sure.
I just want to get a level estimate of them so I know if I can hire them or not.
Nobu is going to say all this in the
Wait,
library
hold on. No.
again, and then get reported again.
Wait,
That's a good question.
I have my invisibility sight up for my thing. Is Minerva in the room with us?
Let's see.
Poor Renee can't spy on the whole party at once.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who would Minerva be following at the moment.
She can certainly try.
It's either Paul or Floof.
Roll a d2.
Yeah, I think I will.
Floof is 1.
Right, Floof is 1, Paul is 2.
Okay.
Well, Minerva is following Paul then.
All right, then you would see a ball as they enter, or more if you would know that there's a ball there.
I'm sorry, this is too much trouble, and then I'm gonna wink at him, but like subtly.
Roll me a deception. And Renea, roll me an insight. Well, more
No.
specifically, Minerva, roll me an insight.
Haha.
Because you would have to look through Minerva's eyes
That's pretty
to gain
fucking
this.
good.
Pretty sure it doesn't matter.
It's a different bonus.
Does she? No, she has like no bonuses.
Let's go. Big line. Big line.
Alright.
All right, now let me roll Nobu's insight.
You can't stop me.
But now Nobu needs to beat the. Okay, what's
Alright.
that?
Nobu
Everything?
will say, very well, very well. Oh, better to not get in trouble then. Wink. Let me roll his deception.
Should I roll insight
I'm-
against that too?
You can't beat it.
You rolled the 30 deception for this
You,
guy.
He has expertise in deception and sleight of hand.
I love this
Okay.
cat.
Look at his splash art. Of course he does.
Yeah, actually, to be fair, look at this little fucker.
Look, you're dealing with a freaking a spell thief. What do you want from me?
It's fucking Cobcat.
Arcane Trickster's technically a subclass name, but yeah. Anyways,
You know, Minerva will roll it anyway, just for kicks.
excellent.
Ah, yes. The old shit. Ah, yes.
All right.
The old
Well,
shit shitty roll.
we'll then return to his office.
Oh my god.
You can't stop me, Jordan.
I mean, it was still a suspicious conversation, Winks noticed or not.
JC
No, it's not.
asked, can you post art for Nobu?
The guy said he
also
gave him a
mentioned
fake
Mark.
scroll. That's not suspicious.
Okay, yeah, but Paul isn't.
You have no
suspicious.
reason to doubt my intentions.
Except your earlier conversation, you seemed pretty
He
bent on doing
just said he wasn't going to.
And
It's true.
I passed my deception check.
And you are fully convinced.
And he said that to the guards earlier as well. This
Renee
a
is
consistent
convinced of
pattern.
nothing.
You're
She
never
suspects
convinced of
everyone.
anything.
She is less suspicious of Paul. She's never non-suspicious of anyone, so...
Some real like great party
Listen,
trust
I'm
there.
gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that.
Angel's
It
gonna be
was
even more
25.
mad at Renee now. It's gonna be great. Oh, you turned into my brother, you fucking narc.
Yeah, like
No,
You don't
Paul's
get to
not
stay at
gonna-
our house anymore. Go find an inn.
Paul's not gonna mention this to anyone.
That's fair.
Yeah, seriously,
That's
guard,
fair.
what the hell? Next time it's going to be an anonymous tip via familiar.
also, man, you did try. You fucking went for it. You went for it.
Anyways,
Complete side tangent.
People.
I get-
wish to gather. Oh, you want to do a side tangent?
Yes. Do I know if the Arcanostra has a... Sorry, my mic was back. Do you know if the Arcanostra has like a closing time? Would the show know that?
For non-students or members, yes. It is,
Like the
And-
offices of it, maybe?
yeah, it closes at 7 p.m.
7 p.m. The show would have meandered on over there and attempted to apply for membership so that he can do magic.
Excellent. All right. You will be spending about 30 minutes filling out paperwork, but you're known entity with Paul and all that, so you have some
Hmm.
some uh, leeway there.
And
So.
would there be any special privilege, whatever, involved with the what's it called? Archaeological stuff?
You would
Allowance,
have that,
perhaps?
yeah. You would have access to their records and all that good stuff. So,
Okay,
within your tier, of course.
within my tier, of course. Okay, cool. Great, wonderful, thank you.
Mhm. And since you are signing up, your magical quality is greater than normal, so you're not coming in as a student, which is the first rank. But you are not, just where you should be if you were starting as an Arcanos member. So your rank is Garnet.
Garnet,
Yep.
badass.
You have a Garnet Arcanostrum pin, and you can choose the benefit given by the pin. And if you're wanting information on that, here is the Arcanostra faction page.
Cool. Okay, cool. I'm eating, so I'm gonna go back and mute myself.
Mhm. All right. But anything anyone else wishes to do before party goes to the manor?
Renea continue her spell research in the Saladin estate, or does she have to be in the Arcanostra?
You have to do it in Arcanostra. Because you have to
Okay,
do
so
the
there's
research
not
in the magic lab.
okay,
How
so there's
much-
not stuff she could do elsewhere.
That is correct.
Okay.
Well,
So I was
regarding
thinking
spell
if I
research.
can do some of it there, that puts me closer to them, at least, instead of all the way across town.
How much time in between filling out housing paperwork and our meetup time is there?
Well, your meetup time was later tonight, specifically at 9 p.m. So, you, John, your paperwork will be done about 7:30, 8. So 7:30, 7:45, 8ish. Splitting down the middle, 7:45. So you got a decent chunk of time before it actually has to be there.
Is there time to buy some nicer clothing?
Yes. You'll have to do it as soon as as the shops are closing, so you have to rush there. But you do have time, yes.
That's fine.
Yeah, they're gonna be one of those customers who walk in when people are like, "Oh man, last person leave. We want to close."
Dirty
I'm so
cowboy, dirty cowboy man shows up to the tailor.
Yep.
just for quick in general, don't have to go into specificities, but just how much, so we don't spend 2 hours talking about John
That's fair.
getting a new suit.
Yep. If you're wanting a fine suit, then that'll be about 12 gold.
That's fine. Sure, we'll just go with that.
If you're wanting something that has special properties, it's be more than that. But if it's just like finely made, like it looks pretty, it's higher quality. Yeah. But if you want like quality benefits, it costs more gold than that.
I don't know what those benefits would be.
Well, some benefits could be like resist natural adaptation to hot or cold environments per the insulated
Yeah.
benefit. Some could be comfy, where they make it easier to force march and things like that. There's some other benefits too. If you look at the
No
equipment guide
need
under
for
crafting quality, that is a list of benefits.
Okay. That's what you meant. Yeah, no, there's no need for magic or anything like that. Just nicer clothing, because
Very
he realizes we're dealing with that sort of.
Very good indeed. All right.
Minus the 12 gold.
So, anything else anyone wishes to do before making their way to the estate?
I'm going to just watch the guards and see their patrols and what it is that they do.
All right. Are you going to
rather
recast
than
invisibility?
sneaking in.
Because
No,
it
I'm
only
gonna
lasts
stay
an
back
hour,
with Ada.
I believe. Okay, you're going to stay back. Gotcha. All right.
It is just gonna wait early for the people to show up.
So, anything else anyone wishes to do? All right. Who is going to this? We know Ada and Floof are going there. We know Paul is going. We know John wishes to go.
The show will also go.
We know the show is going. Go find your tokens.
I don't think Kenna even knows about it.
No, in character, she has no idea.
That's unfortunate. And we know Renea is not going. Where is
Would
your
Renee
token?
even tell Kenna about what the rest of the group's doing?
She's been watching Paul like a hawk. Should send off a sending to Kenna or not? Sure. She'll use a sending to Kenna. Paul wants to meet with the head of the mob. Soul Noodles were involved. I think it's a bad idea. I am not going. That's 24 words.
All right. You can reply to this
And you can
message.
respond with 24 words. Or 25 words.
I'll just type it out and send it to you. But yeah.
Well, are you asking Renee a question that you want a response to?
Well, technically, yes, because I'm asking if I should go. But yeah.
Well, for speed, would you suggest they go? And regardless if they say yes or no, would you go, Kenna?
Renee would say that it's their choice. Okay. Well, that's another sending. It is up to you if you want some protection. Find me first in Arcanostra. The meeting point is, and then I've got 6 words to give the address, and I assume I can give the address in those 6 words.
Let's see here. World city map. 1 second. Oh yeah, it's right off a main street, which means it's pretty simple address.
She says it's your choice. If you want some divine protection from Renea, come find her at the Arcanostra. Otherwise, here's the address.
This would be right by and around the time that the show is there doing paperwork, yeah?
When they're having this conversation, yes.
The show previously did not know that she was there, but he heard her voice because echoey hallways and whatnot. And,
I mean,
walks
sending
up.
is mental, and they're probably in like
Oh,
a study room because they're practicing a big old spell they're making.
Yeah.
Hush,
Renea
hush,
is specifically in the arcane laboratory, so they're not really in the main study halls.
The show's walking around. He's got a little bit of time to kill. He's never toured the Arcanostrum before. He's walking around now that he's a member.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, either way, it is mental, so you would not hear what they're saying.
Fine, I see your. I find her.
It's easy enough to find her eventually. She's pretty close to one of the main floors. So.
Hey there, you.
Hi.
What are you up
to? Working on a spell, a way of manifesting my inner divine blood essence, whatever, in a spell.
I can kind of do that. It burns my insides, though. It's like horrible indigestion.
Yeah, I'm trying to create something that can harm as well as protect.
Interesting. I guess you look pretty deep in this. I'm guessing you're not going to the big kerfluffle.
No, I'm not.
I see. Well, uh, I think you and, uh, oh man, Desho wouldn't know that, Renee is mad at Paul about it.
It's true.
I'm guessing you're going to this whole mob boss meeting.
Well, um, someone has to keep everyone else in line. I don't trust John to not pull his gun. I don't trust Paul to not blow something up or turn into a giant gorilla.
It has been known to happen.
Yes, both of them, in fact.
And I don't trust Floof at all. So, I figured I'd go mediate for lack of a better term.
Right. Well, I'd be careful. I imagine you would have responded that you're gonna come and talk to me in your response to my second sending. Kenna.
Yeah, Kenna will just tell her that I'm gonna go and find her and talk to her in person. Yeah, it's not
Kenna
complicated.
might be going with you, and if she is, I'd stick close to her.
Also a good idea. Uh, I totally agree. I think this is not the best way to go about this, but um, someone's got to keep our firecrackers in line, right?
Yeah, I guess. If you
Uh,
need help, Minerva will be a few hundred feet above the house, so she'll see any magic you shoot off into the air.
well, that's good to know. Um, he is. I haven't talked to Pelodrin about this, but if you get any sort of message from him, assume we're in trouble. Any sort of magical message.
That's a
I'm
fairly
I'm
safe
pla-
assumption.
I'm planning on telling him that if literally anything is going haywire, to message you. You are on the outside. Ixen likes you. You are our way out. If things go hairy, I understand you don't like this idea, but for everyone's well-being, quite frankly.
I'm glad that someone agrees with me.
Yeah, well, I've dealt with illegal types before. They're not a lot of fun. Well, I guess I'll see you on the other side of all this. Good luck on your spell.
Thanks. Good luck to you not getting killed.
Always need it. And the show will head out.
Very good. All right, and Kenna wished to speak with Renee in person, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
While that's happening, I'm gonna go wash my hands. They're covered in barbecue sauce.
Making your way on over to the Arcanostra, you would find Renea in the Arcane Laboratory, researching spells.
Renea?
Oh, hey, Kenna.
Hi. Um, so you mentioned soul noodles and stuff and mob boss, but how many others are going?
Accept me.
Oh, well, yeah, honestly, I probably should go with them just to make sure that if things go south, they have support, but I don't know if they're meeting with the mob boss, if they'll take kindly to being that outnumbered. And so they might just ask me to wait outside anyways, but at least then I'll be closer. But yeah, I think that might be best to just go with them and then wait close by. But yeah, I don't know.
Tell you the same thing I told the show. Minerva will be a couple hundred feet above the house, so if you need to get her attention, some magic in the air will do just that. Or you could use some more subtle methods if you have any. And can you teleport at all?
Yeah, I can teleport me and one other.
So you have the same spell Daniel did, like
Yes.
the door of dimensions or something like that.
Yeah, it sounds similar. Just a pathway opens up, I can take one person, and then it shuts after me, and I can go fairly far with it.
Right. Well, here's some help, and then she will cast Death Ward on you. And she will also cast Enhance Ability, targeting. Well, she'll ask you, do you want to be better at insight and noticing things, or better at persuasiveness?
Probably a wisdom because she'll be hanging outside and not taking part in the chats.
She will cast Enhance Ability, so for the next hour, you have advantage on wisdom checks. And if you would drop to 0 HP, you instead drop to 1.
And does Death Ward last for an hour?
8 hours, Death
It's
Ward.
8 hours.
Oh wow, a lot longer. It is a useful spell.
Indeed, which is why Renee has it prepared. Her original plan was to use it on herself to, like take a flight clear above the city. But this seems more important. Well, be careful.
I will.
All right. And do you head off to join the others?
Yeah, we'll head off and join the others.
All right, very
Sort of
good.
tell them about the plan of just kind of staying out back in case the mob boss feels threatened by having so many people approaching.
Excellent. All right. And this group here, although some of them are already there, copy, make their way to the manor, to the Severa estate. All right. Here, as you all approach the manor, some of you already being here, two of you never being approached by the guards or anything like that for standing weirdly out in the street just staring at a manor, but you know,
I can't believe you took the dragon with you.
you guys would all find each other here, one by one, or more specifically, two of you being here and the other group of four meeting up with you, finding yourselves outside. However, the actual manner and the time for this will be for another time, as we're going to call the session. I do have some things after the session, after I close the stream off to discuss, but yeah, very good. Hope you all had fun. We will see some stuff next time.